Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode number 80 of Ranman Parked, the Conan ZK special. Woo!
No adults!
Kurt finally broke his streak. As far as I know, he's never missed an episode.
I believe that is correct. I believe this is the first episode he wasn't to make where we didn't just not record.
Such dedication. The man is just dedicated to his craft.
So consistent and on time. Meets the schedule.
Now that's just funny. That's just humor. But don't worry,
Also,
we have a special guest this week.
Well, before that, happy birthday, Kurt.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he can't make here. He's like doing like important things and having fun and having blood cake.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it has not been a smooth vacation for him so far, or
it's been interesting, at least, I guess.
He'll have so many stories. Make sure you watch the next Farlands or Bust. I'm sure he's just going to be full of happy, fun time stories. Also a podcast, available probably as more of a podcast than this show has ever. But yeah, we do have a special guest that will be joining us live from the scene. I don't think technically Powers was on the show once, right?
Was he? I think we had
he came
clip?
with me to get the parts truck. And
That's right.
I recorded Ranman Parked in your spare bedroom. And
then he yelled.
Yeah, he yelled from outside of the room. And Kurt had no idea what was going on. It was hilarious. Good times. I'm sure we're going to carry the show just fine, the two of us.
Oh, yeah. I don't have Kurt's giant witty quip shoes to fill or anything.
I had no idea where that was going. All right, well, let's just slide right into the show now, shall we? So we made Powers do a bad thing.
I think we pretty much told him he had to do this, right?
Yeah.
Like, we talked him into it. Like, he's not difficult to convince when it's something he wants, but
right.
We also talked him into this.
Yeah. Powers is buying a Ford wagon. Is it a Ford wagon? I don't remember what it is on the back of that thing.
I don't remember. It
doesn't matter.
Olds? It just...
It does kind of look like an Olds now. Anyway, Powers is joining Team Ramp Truck. I guess he was just so infatuated with Jesse, and he was so happy with how well it did Holland do it multiple times that he has decided that he needs to join Team Ramp Truck, and he found this one all on his own. We at least can't be responsible for finding it.
No.
So at least that is on him. And it turns out to be down in my old stomping grounds.
Yeah. He did actually find the correct Ram truck to buy, though. It's a Chevy, it's a wedgeback, and it has a 454.
Everything you said was true except the wedgeback.
So I feel like that's just a personal preference thing. Like,
yeah.
Neither is wrong.
But wedgebacks are more wronger.
I think they probably have some advantages, but I don't know.
Loading seems easier with a wedgeback.
Gas fill.
Right. There's storage space under a wedgeback. There's certainly things that make it better.
Sleeping space.
Yeah. The way that you have to try and hold something down on an angle is annoying. And here's all right. Just it's our favorite, everybody. It's our absolute favorite. This ad was all screenshots of a phone picture on a phone.
I'm not sure if you noticed in the first picture, it says the guy's phone's at 14% battery life.
Oh, lovely. And unread messages. Boy.
Yeah.
The truck, it's an 86 3500. It has, here's how the ad is written. 3500 as is, 6,000 with brand new rebuilt Olds 455. First off, who puts an Olds 455 in a ramp truck?
I don't know. Like, I looked up the 455, and apparently there's like several different GM 455s.
Yeah, everything I've heard about them on Roadkill or from Freiburger is that they are nightmares. They are just...
Yeah, I think they're just like I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with them, other
Right.
than that they're the weird engine. Therefore, there's not a lot of stuff for them.
Yep. Or sell the engine by itself for $2,500. Has a Chevy 455, which is obviously a 454. Does run, but don't stay running. Has new tires in the back that cost $800, which is honestly kind of fair. Dually tires are not cheap.
Yeah.
Because you don't think that's four truck tires back there. I'm taking a loss already. Price is firm. I'll eventually get to it after I install the engine in the wagon. Truck is priced very reasonable, very little rust. Will part out, possibly. It's buyer's responsibility to tow, not mine.
And as we've learned.
Right. So here's
$500 though for a ramp truck that is not like rotted.
A Chevy square body ramp truck, which are like the most desirable.
This is a deal. He's adjusting his volume instead of taking a screenshot.
This is the Oldsmotor?
Yes.
Yeah.
But just sitting on a tire.
The bumper is there.
Wait, are the frame rails like bent out, or is that just how they are?
I think that's just the bumper supports. I think that's just how they are.
Okay.
I think maybe, I don't know. We don't look at these things now. Not very good. For hire. Not great pictures here. However, live on the scene, we have Powers 2440 to tell us how it's going, because he is there right now as we are recording. He actually just left. He is there right now trying to get this truck running, and he is intending to drive it from Jacksonville, Florida to Pennsylvania. I thought it was dumb when I went to North Carolina, actually South Carolina, to buy Jesse, and I had planned to drive it down to Florida. He's trying to do twice that distance. So let's see how it's going.
All right, well, quick update. Currently working on trying to keep it running, seeing what I can do there. So far, looks like it doesn't have enough fuel pressure. I can't get it running long enough to take a video or anything. It seems like what I can read from my fuel pressure gauge is getting 1 to 2 psi and just like fluctuating between that. And it's not holding a steady pressure. I did buy a mechanical pump just in case for this reason. Thankfully the seller is being really good and helping me out here, so he's gonna look for one and try to pick it up for me while I swelter in the Florida heat and kind of work on things, putz around. I got a belt on the alternator, got that tightened up. I'm gonna look and see if I can get the wiring set up so it charges the battery and just kind of plug away at things. I need to figure out what's going on with the brakes. Pedal's kind of spongy, doesn't have resistance, will go to the floor, not like straight to the floor, but goes to the floor. Back of it's mostly rusty fluid, the front has nothing, so that's kind of where we are. Just gonna cool off a bit in the shade and see what I can get done.
Yeah.
So he knew he's been talking to the owner of this truck pretty extensively already. So he knew going into it some of what was wrong. His plan is to get the 454 running and either put the Oldsmotor in the back, or who knows. I don't know. I don't know what his plan is there, but it's pretty rough.
It is, but it isn't.
I guess, as far as these trucks go, it's pretty rust-free. There's more of that firewall than I expected to see.
I mean, looking underneath it, it looked fine.
Right. Yeah.
In
the places that really mattered, it looked pretty good.
The wiring's pretty sketchy.
It definitely looked like it caught on fire.
Yeah, I saw that.
That area
by the
where the harness comes in through the.
Yeah, but it's a Chevy. You can buy all this stuff off of Summit.
It's true. It's true. We're just hoping that he can actually get this thing going enough to drive it. And if at worst, at least to my parents' house, because he really wants to drive it to Pennsylvania. So you'll just have to tune in next time on Rainbow Park to see how that goes. There was one thing while I watched the video that really stuck out in my mind. Please go to the next slide. We buy junk cars. Whoever
So
did
I
that
saw
on the
this.
side.
I saw that on the side and had the exact same thought. And then I saw that you had put this little picture in there, and I was like, oh, it's perfect. There have been updates. He did fix the fuel pressure issue. He got that new pump installed, and it's at least has fuel pressure now.
He's in a run now. Like before, it would only idle, and now
No, it would run for like 3 seconds.
Oh,
and shut
right.
off.
But now
It will
run if he gives the throttle.
Exactly. So that's more tuning. So he's making progress.
Right.
It's so hot in there. I
Oh
mean,
my God.
sweaty.
It's just he could not have picked a worse time of year to be doing this. And we're having like kind of an early heat wave in the southeast, so it's even worse than it usually is.
He sent the picture of the weather, and I was like, oh, that's actually like a nice day. But I know for him, that's dead
Right.
rain falling.
Yeah, it's
It
bad.
was like 91 degrees and a breeze. I'm like, ooh, that's nice. And then
It is 91 degrees with a breeze, but it's like Florida 99% humidity
yeah,
breeze.
exactly.
So there's your update from Powers live on the scene of a Ranwin Park special. Not even really a potentially running Wind Park special.
Oh, it runs,
Right.
kind of. It does. As far as we know, or from what it sounds like, there's at least not a hole in one of the pistons or anything. So,
In theory. All right, now to some the normal programming here on Ranwin Park. Car ads from around the internet. I bring to you your own lead sled. We built lead sleds in automation last week, and just on a whim, I typed in the term lead sled. Not a lot of these old Ford, I guess they call them shoebox, right? Something like that.
I have no idea.
Not a
but-
lot of these old Ford coupe bodies left around that haven't already been chopped and channeled and modified in every which way. And this one popped up that's already got the most important part of it done, and that is they put the body on a Crown Vic chassis. So you could actually potentially make this into something and use it.
Yeah, that's actually nice, but it looks a little high, or is that just how they were?
They were high. You're probably gonna end up having to do some modification to the thing. It's certainly a project.
Go back. I just didn't want to cut you off, but in the background there is this van that is literally on top of another car. I think. No, it's behind it, but it looks.
I think it's up on ramps. I think. Maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
but
did just see the roof line of the car that I thought it was on.
whatever is going on with that van is very special. Everything about this whole ad is pretty special. It's $5,500 for this Ford F1 two-door. I don't know if that's officially what they're called or not. Whatever.
Probably just whatever Facebook. It listed 6 minutes ago.
Listen, it was good timing. It was rusty
Anyway.
Ford 4.6, and obviously somebody cut up a Crown Vic to do this, but
Yeah, but that Crown Vic was sitting outside for a minute.
the front clearance isn't bad. The rear definitely looks a little odd, but
Yeah, but like, when's the last time you saw a stock one of these?
true. Yeah, and this is one of those deals where somebody bought a project, didn't do anything to it, and is now selling that project. Because this is all the pictures that I'm literally buying it.
Is that cotton?
It does look like cotton, doesn't it? If you watch Faster with Finnegan, then you get the reference. If you don't, then you don't.
Watch Faster with Finnegan.
Tons of parts, of course. Just
Added
parts,
value.
parts galore.
Look, that box is even open.
Right. It's it's an all stock Crown Vic underneath of it, but kind of rough shape. But still,
Yeah.
it's a $5,500 project, and you could DIY your own lead sled.
I don't know how much these go for.
Yeah, it's kind of a
Like,
weird
there can't be
thing.
many left at this point.
Right. There's not many left, but also it almost feels like this genre of car has been so done to death that unless it's something that's already been done by somebody famous, then it's really not worth that much money.
Yeah.
So a lot of this era of stuff seems to kind of now being a little less desirable. It's weird because it's either like less desirable or unobtainium. Nobody wants to take on these kinds of projects anymore. Nobody wants to do a new, shoebox because it's been done to death. But also people want, the perfect, excellent, done to death, perfect chopped channeled cruiser car. Like, that's what they want. That's what's the big money now. It's a little bit weird.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe this is a good deal. I don't know.
I'm not the right person to ask, but I just thought it was really just excellent timing since we were doing that. It was really
This
funny.
is something they need to put on like a Roadkill Garage or something,
Right.
just to like finish it
Mhm.
or get it running, basically.
It was really entertaining watching the audience of like my Twitch streams doing automation builds of these cars, because it was painfully obvious very few people had any idea what a lead sled was. Like, maybe they've
just Google
heard
it and
the
like,
term.
oh, okay.
But yeah, there was a lot of very obvious people just thinking that it meant hot rod or stuff like that. So
It's okay. It's called education.
Education. It was an educational adventure. I mean, I need education on this stuff too, because I never liked this stuff growing up because it was so overdone. It was everywhere. It was the only thing you could find at a cruise-in.
50, 60 years old. And now it's even older than that.
Now it's like ancient, so it's like, All right, there's some Wingadinga. Not even Wingadinga, pre-Wingadinga.
But what if you do want Wingadinga? What if you want fast Wingadinga?
Fast Wingadinga? That seems illegal.
So I have you a 64 Comet race car. $42,000.
Ooh.
However, it is actually a legit drag car. They say it was clocked at 150 miles in a quarter mile.
Okay.
I did one of those calculators. That means it's about a 9-second car.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, what does that mean exactly?
And people go like, "Oh, that's not that fast," but no, 9-second car is really fast.
9-second car will make most everybody watching this show pee.
Yeah,
At least a little bit.
528 board and stroke, 900 horsepower with nitrous. Only 900 horsepower. Yeah, shut up.
I love this body style so much.
It's so good. It's carved power glide 9-inch. And one thing I like is that this is one of those, like, you can tell it's like a super serious build.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got 4 lines in there of what they've done, and that's all you need to know.
Right, yeah. This is the not, like, try hard approach to selling a car like this.
They kept the whole dash.
It's neat. Ooh, I like the little spoiler wing situation too.
And it's like a full car. It kind of reminds me of a bit of.
It's a full car, but do you notice that it's also stickered? The grill.
Was it?
Yeah, the grill is sticker.
No.
Yeah,
That's not a sticker. I can
that's
see
a
behind
sticker.
it.
Those
I
are
don't
stickers
believe
too. Look at the taillights. Those are
I don't believe
stickers.
you. I don't think so.
Those are stickers.
I don't think so.
Go back to the front. Go back to the front. You see the little side vents on the fenders?
Okay, the side vents, yes.
Those are stickers. And I think the grill is too. Maybe.
Maybe. Anyway.
Audience,
It's very
we're going to
well
need you
done.
to choose. It is super well done, but I think this is possibly more of a serious build than you even think. Like, I think that might be There might have been
It
some
reminds me a
like
bit
body
of
modification there.
Finnegan's Cadillac.
Yeah,
It is.
a bit.
This is probably more race car than that car is. I swear I can see through it.
Yeah, this is a weird. The side vents though, are the side vents real too? This is all like blowing my mind right now. Like there's such a weird.
Well, for just $40,000.
Yeah,
you can find
thanks.
it. And it's got the.
All right, I'm changing my opinion. The front grille is real because you can see a gap between the bumper there. Yeah, and I think
It's got the front fender exhaust.
it
on both
does. Yeah,
sides.
I thought maybe there was a fiberglass front, but it's not.
I think it's a stock body.
I think
with,
it's all
like-
stock body. I think you were correct. Look at me. I'm on the internet, and I could admit I was wrong.
Wow.
Crazy, I know. Oh, look at that. It's got his name on the top. Does that say
Burger Red?
Booger Red? All right.
There's your 428, 528, whatever it was.
It's a, yeah, 528, I think it said.
500 something.
It's got, I guess it's still a Ford motor because the distributor's in the correct place. And it's got those weird, like, the heads and the exhaust manifold, like the heads become exhaust manifold. That's a very Ford thing.
Yeah.
I think this, if this is, I mean, it's a big block Ford, it's technically the same family as the Ram truck motor.
Wow. If you
Technically.
would let me put a cam in it or something.
You could put as much cam as you want in that. It's not going to be this.
A cam in the head, like they do it in the Cobras, we can make 500 horsepower with the engines. Just saying.
That's because that's what it needs. That's
I just thought a little, like a cool old, like barn find style drag racer was pretty cool. They do win a lot of money for it, but like if you tried to build a drag car, that's how much you'd spend.
I'd really like to know if those rear vents there are decals or not. Anyway,
We can go visit.
yeah, can we go visit? How about a Rambler?
I like Ramblers.
I like Ramblers too. I've really started ever since the Marlin that Kurt showed forever ago. I've been like, man, I really like how clean the Ramblers are. Everything else in this era started to get very gaudy, and AMC, bizarrely, like AMC, who in the 70s became the most gaudy, in the 60s was like the most reserved. This one is strange though because it's a Rambler wagon with a factory inline 4 in 1965.
Huh.
Yeah, that is quite surprising to me. This car is in pretty nice shape. It's not one of like the 3-row.
I like the green on green on green.
It is green on green, yeah. It's not like a big 3-row car or anything like that. So it's not like, you know, your Buick wagons or whatever.
So like, is that like a sliding shelf? What am I looking at? Like, why is the rear deck so high?
I don't know. There is definitely something like underneath of the carpet there.
Yeah.
I don't know. You
so
just have
normally-
to buy it for me so I can find out.
Okay.
It's very local. There's your not inline 4. They can't count spark plugs. I love
For the
finding...
record, we only see 5.
True.
Okay.
But like, I love ads like this where you're like, oh, that seems weird, and then you just realize that this is probably somebody else's car that they're selling. Like, it's probably a disrespected project, and they're just trying to.
I also like the engine is green to match.
The engine is green. It is, you know, just your bog standard straight 6. It's gonna be a very slow car, regardless. It is,
I
however.
do like the overall shape of it, even though it does look like a sedan with the wagon.
All right, you went robot there, but I agree. I do really like. Usually the wagons that are just like added on don't work well for me. This one though, I'm actually a really big fan of. I find the whole shape of it to be quite nice.
Yeah,
No, you are
know
still
what's
just
weird about
pure.
it?
Please stop talking. Don't say another word. It's probably my internet. Who knows? It's like 175 million degrees out. I'm just gonna keep talking. I'm gonna keep rambling on about this Rambler Classic.
Everything is okay.
It's got I think a Nevada plate on the front of it, so that explains how rust-free it is. Wait, what is going on in the gauge cluster? 0 to 12. 0 to 12 what? Oh, miles an hour. It's times 10.
You're telling me I'm stop. I have no way to tell him.
I think you might have to reconnect to the channel, ZK. This is what happens when Kurt's gone. Everything just falls apart. Anyway, yeah, I just really, I really like everything about this car. I like the condition it's in. I like that it's kind of just an unrestored, original, not even very desirable year or not like model or anything. It's just what people would have driven. Like this was just somebody's car, and I think that has a certain amount of charm to it to me. And $6,000 feels like a pretty good price for something that is extremely unique, very original, and I mean it wasn't unique back in the day, but it's unique now. So I'm into it. It's also 3 on a tree, and you know how much I want to drive a 3 on the tree.
Hello?
Hey, welcome back.
Hey! I think it might have been Discord, because I couldn't rejoin the channel at all for a second.
That's good. But yeah, it's just so remarkably original, like very original shape and everything, and
I was just going to say, if you go to the side profile, it's like you could make this a sedan,
mm-hmm.
you could make it a wagon, or a ute. Really easy.
Yeah.
And they would all work fine.
All right. Well, there's my ramblings on a rambler. I still think $6,000 is good money for this. Like, I don't think you can find stuff like this very often for that kind of money.
No, it's complete. It sort of runs, I guess it runs.
Yeah, it says it runs great. Runs great and shifts great. But
I mean, this is one of those few
some
things
rust.
that you could have this type of thing and actually drive it home.
Right.
Of course.
Also note the other side of the yard, where there's almost certainly another wagon over there of some sort. All right.
It's neat.
It's neat. It's just neat.
I forgot what my next ad is, so I'm just gonna go into it. It's right. It's
Man,
what I got for powers. It's to fit his 455 or whatever. It's a 1962 Oldsmobile Starfire.
Very restorable.
There's 2 of them.
Good.
The black one is complete except for the engine. Has rust and truck pan. Blah 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 blah. Very neat. Oh, maybe this was only one of them. I thought there was 2. Anyway,
No.
Clean title. Just needs an engine.
Yeah, I think there's
And
2.
I for again this sort of era, like I think this is kind of a cool shape.
It's okay. It's not my favorite.
I mean,
all
it's not
right.
like the overly aggressive, and maybe it has the vinyl top, but it comes with some parts, I guess. But
Cool back
this
seat.
one's in decent condition. I mean, it's like rusty and doesn't have carpet, but like
If you can get floors.
yeah, on eBay,
Free
just
shipping.
100. This was a little old. It might be like twice that.
Yeah.
They ain't giving you free shipping now.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just sort of. I liked the shape of it, and it was funny because it was an Olds and Powers.
It's an Olds. It needs an Olds engine. There would be a lot of engine for this car.
Oh, it'd be so good. There's the progressive speedometer again.
Not quite as aggressive though. The 0 to 12 was just really just seeing a dash that was nothing but 0 to 12 is just very off-putting to me.
Is that like what time it is? Is it actually just a clock?
Yeah, the front's kind of weird. It's like a front within a front, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's got like the inner grill and then the outer, kind of like a fish or something.
Right. I guess, I mean, I'm sure I've seen these before, but I'm just not very familiar with this one.
I don't think I've seen a lot of these. I think that's one thing that appeals, that it appeals to me for, is that like.
Isn't it funny
they're
how
not super
every
overdone.
car in this era had those curvy like A-pillars in the same way that every crossover for the last like 15 years had the same C-pillar? You know the one I'm talking about with like the backslash in it?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I never noticed the curvy A-pillar on these cars, and now I'm never going to be not going to be able to notice it now.
Oh yeah,
and I hate
every car of this era has basically that curved down A-pillar. Sorry. I just ruined a whole generation of car for you.
It's fine. It's fine. You probably can't notice it from looking out.
I'm pretty sure you could.
Shh. Look, it's got everything. I think that's even AC compressor. Yeah,
It looks
it's got
like it, yeah.
Which gotta be rare in 62, right?
Yeah, especially to still be there. Like the parts are still there.
Yeah. All you need is an engine and a bell housing, I guess.
I guess so. It's rusty, but it's definitely salvageably rusty.
Yeah. No worse than Kurt's Z.
Oof. Ouch. He's not even here.
Listen, he's not here. I can take these digs while I can get them.
Speaking of salvageably rusty, I need help.
That's a price.
It is a price, isn't it? It's a 76 Celica GT Coupe on the East Coast for $2,400, and it has the 20R in it with a 5-speed manual, and it's not literally gone.
The paint is gone, but it looks all the trim is there.
It looks-
I don't think that's a stock weight.
Awful, but it also looks immensely better than anyone I've ever seen over here. It's like somebody's failed project. Let me find it. Classic Japanese coupe. Yeah, I don't need to be sold. Hold on. Brand new starter, alternator. They tried to get the motor running, basically. From my understanding, it's a 300 vehicle. Yeah, shut up. Nobody cares. It's a project registration that doesn't currently run. I haven't finished wiring completely. It's a fuel pump. We'll trade for Datsun 510s. Like, what kind of crack are you smoking? $2,500. Does have a clear title in hand. It hurts me. It hurts me so because I've wanted one of these for so long. And this is probably one of the better looking ones I've seen on the East Coast. You can tell somebody did go through the engine. This is the stuff that's usually just gone on these cars. Like,
Yeah,
literally
this looks,
everything under here would be gone, and this one looks good.
to the layman, this is ugly.
Mhm.
To us, this is like immaculate.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Like, even the original floors are there, and that's just unheard of for these cars.
Well, there's a little part missing there in the top right, but we won't.
Listen, you know what I mean. It's been grown up and mowed around 15 different times into 15 different pictures, but it's got a little body damage here and there. But this is the best that I
Body
have.
damage like these kids in the background on the trampoline are about to receive.
There will never be a trampoline in this yard. that is my one.
I'm surprised that he's not been outlawed at this point.
Just, I never knew anybody growing up that had a trampoline that didn't break something. It was just like,
Exactly.
you knew as soon as they were like, we got a trampoline, you were just like, gonna see them in a cast one day.
The little fence net things they put around them don't help either.
No, because then like you get 5 different kids on there with you and you slam into one of them and you both break your arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, a different time or place, this Celica would be making its way to my yard right now, for sure.
Just saying, once we hit those 5,000 subs.
On Twitch, to be clear.
Twitch paying subs, or like if we could get some, what do they call them on
Memberships.
membership?
If you want to be a channel member.
Also, you can be a they call 'em something on Anchor that you could donate there.
Really?
to.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. No, my Anchor was monetized.
I did this myself. It goes to me.
Oh. I mean, if you get the Celica, I know that it'll end up in my yard anyway.
Wow. Somebody won't come get a 240 of mine, but anyway, this was supposed to be for Kurt.
Oh.
Or it was kind of for the both of them.
Mm.
They've been looking at like off-road camper vehicles. So I have a 92 Cadillac Broham hearse.
I hate the word broham.
What? It's like a bro, but he's ham.
Yeah, but look at how it's spelled. It looks like
Brom.
it looks like you should say brom.
They want $18,000, which is quite a bit. But let's ignore that and just look at the rest of this thing. It's very dependable. Drives like a Cadillac. I would hope so because
It's a Cadillac.
Like whatever you think that means, it's like my Ford drives like a Ford. It's like okay, I hope so.
Rarely.
Original low miles, 85,000, which is apparently low for a hearse, which
That seems like a lot of miles.
yeah.
Like,
Interior is immaculate, made into a luxurious Cadillac camper.
oh, made into. It's already been done?
Yes.
Oh, let me see.
Unfortunately, it's only a 350.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's still more power than Kurt will use.
Yeah. So it's a Cadillac. It's got a light bar.
Of course it's got a freaking light bar. Why wouldn't it?
It's got the best blue cloth.
Honestly, this is when people say it rides like a Cadillac, this is what they mean.
Oh, it's so good and plush. And,
It's not the suspension. Like, the suspension is just crappy as everything else. It's just that the seats are just nothing but foam.
Yeah.
Oh, you broke it again. You broke it again. You broke it again. So this is a blue seat in a Cadillac. How do I fill this in right now? I guess I just. Oh, you're back. Okay.
I think it might be me.
I think you're back.
Anyway, what happened to like luxury cars with cloth interior?
Big leather.
But it's not actually leather.
I know, but it's just the agenda. It's just like growing up. If somebody had leather seats, they were fancy.
I want those nice like JDM spec like wool seats.
Oh yeah, but does it have that stupid like lace thing sewn on it too?
Always,
Yeah.
always. You can't get it without it. Digital dash.
Digital dash. That's the most boring digital dash I've ever seen.
It's more like, what's the least amount of information we can show to them?
You're right.
Engine MET? ENG MET?
Maybe it changes what it's showing on the cluster?
I don't know what MET could be, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yep.
There's your 350.
Sure is. Oh, God.
So why do hearses have privacy glass? Like, with a slider? Is it... Because it's not like you gotta, like, open it and close it so they can talk or something.
Yeah. I'm sure it's like I'm sure it's...
You would think if it was for the smell, it would just be sealed, period.
I don't think... No, I think it's like it's out of respect. Like, because you're not related to that person. So, like, you're just transporting them. So, out of respect.
I'm saying, why is it a sliding window or whatever instead of just solid?
Probably because it's all just a kit that they sell to make anything into a hearse.
That's too logical.
Why does it have gauge pods in it?
Because you gotta have gauge pods in your broham.
Oh.
Cadillac camper. Also,
Oh?
I don't know if this is intentional or unfortunate, but that middle of the vinyl there looks a little suspect.
Oh.
I don't know if they're holding hands is what I'm saying.
That's not what I was looking at. I was just... There's...
What?
Whoever, like, made these shapes has never seen a human being before.
What? Your head doesn't look like a cowboy hat? Just like... Not on top of your head. And here's the camper.
Oh. Not quite what I had in mind, I gotta be honest with you.
What? It's not some foam thrown in the back of a
I feel like this
hearse
is
with
just
a
like
pillow?
what was in the hearse. They just flipped it upside down. Don't sleep on
Usually
the
they have
side
those,
that
like,
dead
rollers
people
or
are on.
whatever, don't they?
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, though, that looks pretty cozy.
It does. It doesn't look uncomfortable.
I don't know if you would call it a camper, but
No.
apparently this is worth the $18,000 or whatever they wanted for it.
That's what they'll tell you.
If it has a locker, though, I bet it could go off-road. Just saying. Just throwing it out there.
Holy crap, we're to the best finds of the week already?
It's just the two of us, and we've been trying to
Just-
stretch this as long as possible.
Have we?
Yeah, it's already been 40. No, we had some technical difficulty. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Best finds of the week means we need to review last episode's best finds of the week, where Kurt insulted me. ZK tried to get votes through technical failure, and I had the cutest K car ever. ZK's ploy didn't work. I do think your car deserved more votes, though. I really liked that.
I would have had more
Pink work.
votes if there were more pictures. If it wasn't like
Maybe.
basically 2 pictures of the whole car,
Right.
I think I would have put up a better fight. I would have been maybe like, to your 50%, I would have maybe like a 30 or 40%.
The Mini Topo got 50% of the vote. Kurt managed to get 28% of the vote just by insulting me, and also having. I really liked the build of the Camaro, but I don't think anybody voted for that reason. And ZK getting 21%. All right, ZK, it's
Everyone likes
just
the Wago vans. They're so good.
they're not very loved, are they?
It's one of those things. Everyone thinks they're ugly except for the people that like them who really like them.
Yeah, it's definitely a cult following car.
Yeah.
Well, let's find some more cult followings in this week's head-to-head showdown, just the two of us. Randwind Park Best of Find of the Week. I have for you Wreckfest. It's a 1966 Plymouth Barracuda that has an interesting bodywork, like body kit style to it, but tell me this does not look straight out of Wreckfest.
I was going to say, I think it works really well.
It works super well. Like, I it's kind of a shame, but then I look at it and I go, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. That's actually really cool.
I actually really like it.
I know we're not like on the show, we try not to be the patina fans, but I think it works for this specific car.
Yeah, I mean exactly as this is, exactly as shown. I like this.
What it really needs is like a super clean engine bay and interior, and like autocross setup.
It's a lot of Bondo. Don't get me wrong. Like,
I did not know the butt looked like this. This is an unfortunate rear end.
I don't think the butt is so bad. It's just the fact that it's all like raw pink Bondo. That's kind of
It
like.
doesn't match the front at all, though.
What do you mean? It's fine. It's Wreckfest.
I like hatch. It's not. I guess it's not. It's a fastback, but
Well, this is the famous like Barracuda with a huge glass.
I'm trying to imagine it with like just paint and.
Yeah, I
taillights
think if
and
you rattle can
helping.
this with some primer, it'll come right around. He's
I don't
not.
know.
he's
Maybe
not
it's just the taillights aren't doing it for me.
But actually, it is what you said. Like the engine bay is like
Pretty not bad.
pretty, clean and straightforward and looking ready to go. There's your just massive rear window and the space that
Oxygen bottles? Those look like.
I think so.
I think that's like when grandma's on the oxygen.
You think
That's
so?
what she's
Because
rolling
it does like have the arrow and an N at the beginning of it.
Is it? It's blue. Isn't oxygen usually green?
Right. I think that's a NOS bottle. I'm pretty sure. Just small ones.
Those are weird.
They are weird.
And there's some more trim for your house.
Right. No, it's the 18 acres of trim that these cars have on them. The interior is
Speaker in the.
in the console.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, it's not the most tasteful thing I've ever seen, but that's why it's just the perfect in real life Wreckfest car, in my opinion. Especially the front shot. Like, if this was the thumbnail,
Yeah.
you would pick that car.
But you see, like, in my mind, where the rear window, like, you can see how it kind of curves down and then goes to the trunk lid.
Mm-hmm.
If that was the actual shape of the car, it would be perfect.
You're completely wrong about that, but you know what? It's fine.
This is someone who doesn't generally like the coupe version. Or
Right.
sedan or whatever.
Mhm.
I guess this would be a coupe. But in my opinion, this should be a notchback.
All right. If you say so. Anyway, real life Wreckfest.
So, I also have for Powers a backup plan.
Oh,
Yeah, if he can't get home and he has to give up on his dreams,
right.
he can buy a Saturn Wagon.
Oh my God.
This is also in Jacksonville.
When is this picture from?
A day ago. This is new.
Are they doing this kind of stuff again?
So this is.
Oh yeah, that's a new
don't-
Supra in the background.
Yeah. So this is actually a guy I follow on Instagram, and I think I've shown pictures of that Del Sol with like that rainbow drip paint kind of thing.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
This is the same guy that does that, and this was his car also, and he painted it like this. And if you don't know him, which you probably don't, he does this all freehand with spray paint and then clears over it.
Oh.
Spray paint and Sharpie or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a right-hand drive Saturn SW2. So it's the wagon with the dual cam motor in it.
So it's an ex-male car.
Yeah. Race lane coilovers, advent wheels, full stereo tint, purple underglow, and tweed dash. Daily
Oh.
driven. 8500 OBO.
Oh boy.
And the paint. I had to include the video because you can see the sparkle.
Yeah. It's so much cooler than a wrap.
It is.
I'm sorry.
Actually, I think he started a second account or a company or something, and it's like Raps or Whack or something.
That is pretty special. Good luck getting it to go to the next slide. Yeah, it's gonna just play again.
Oh, okay. Well, just go to the next.
No, you have to keep clicking. There you go.
There we go. So the whole car is done in this like freehand drip style spray paint job that's clear over the top, with also this sort of anime style on it too.
Somewhat, yeah. I dig it.
I wish it was a manual,
Visors.
but yeah. So I don't know if those are speed holes. Like, are those factory speed holes?
I think those are probably like they were so like that was the whole thing with Saturn, right? They were supposed to be just cheap and light.
Lightweight,
Yeah.
and cheap.
That
Yeah.
they were like, well, we don't need this much material for the visors.
Yeah, so they would put the holes in it and then cover it with the cheapest cloth or whatever.
Right.
But it's also weird because, like, I think we've talked about this before, at least I have, that Saturns are like super cheap cars,
Mm-hmm.
but they're designed and like engineered cheaply rather
Right.
than like penny pinch.
Yeah.
So
there
like,
is two different philosophies there. There's
this is like a 20-year-old car, but like the interior still looks fine,
right.
even though it's super cheap and basic. It was designed with that in mind.
Right. There's making cheap cars and there's designing cheap cars, and those are two different things.
Also, I think because usually the wagons look super awkward because it's literally the sedan with like
Mhm.
the wagon tacked on. Like even the rear door is the same.
Right.
But he painted over the whole like wagon part.
Yeah, the ugly
that
part.
like matches it. Like it kind of hides it. And...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that pretty much fixes it.
Yeah, exactly. It's odd how much it fixes it.
Yep, that's Saturn.
Yeah, bog standard Saturn engine. I wish it was a manual. I don't actually know how hard it is to swap them over, but like, just because like I have this thing against 4-speed autos at this point.
Yeah. It's a good thing you don't own any of those.
Actually, yeah, just the one. It's just the most common transmission in the world at this point. Okay,
Not anymore.
the 460LE. I bet it's the most common
Even the trucks all come with 6 speeds now.
now, but like maybe we're getting to that crossover.
Yeah, I feel like we're in the crossover period where a 4-speed auto is no longer normal. The new,
Yeah, but I'm talking more like
the new
super
normal.
common on the road parts availability.
Right. Possibly.
And I don't know how I feel about all this. I'd probably like if I bought this, which I might, but or I won't, but I would. I'd probably take the stickers off, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some of the other cars you did there.
Yeah.
That the Del Sol I was talking about was similar to that Volkswagen, but
Gotcha.
a different color. He's also did that. It's 2000, I think that is.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a bunch of stuff, like an NSX4 Acura.
I have seen this, and it's cool.
Yeah, he did this by hand. They did like a whole thing for it. The Helix, whatever. I can't keep the accuracy.
Yeah,
Like,
whatever it was.
I'm glad they called the new one an Integra because it has a name.
Right.
But the other one he designed, but it is a rat.
Ah.
But he did this one by hand. And I think it's like a neat style, and it is fairly unique, even though he's done a couple of these cars at this point.
Right.
But like no one else is doing it, and it would be like a complete ripoff.
Yeah.
And they did that whole like anime thing with Acura, so it matches. Like, look at this picture. It's hard to.
Dad, am I supposed to be looking at this?
But this whole picture like messes with your mind because it looks like a drawing. But
Right.
it's a car.
All right, everybody, that's our show. How was it? How did we do? Could you rate us out of 5 stars? Remember when YouTube videos used to have a 5-star rating?
Oh
not
God.
many people do. Yeah, they did. They certainly did. It wasn't always thumbs up, thumbs down. Thank you for supporting Random Parked on Patreon, keeping it interruption free, thanks to those dollary dues that you send us that YouTube never would. And thank you to ZK for filling in for ZK and Kurt this week. Wait,
What?
I don't know. Thank you to Powers for giving us the live on the scene reporting. And we'll see you next time.
So many Chevy part numbers now.
Don't tell him the part numbers, because nothing you tell him he will remember by next week. Like,
If you won't listen to me, it's going to be the worst.
I would say I'm at least better at listening to you than Powers is.
Yeah, you don't acknowledge that you listen to me though.
That's fair.